Hello, I'm Dan Bagley. Tonight in Release Your Wings, we're going to discuss forgiveness. Shireen Chada is the person I'll be asking questions about. So Shireen, I have a lot of students who come in sometimes who are so angry from a breakup. I talk to business people because I coach, and they very often say someone did me wrong, and I just don't think I can ever forgive them. What's the spiritual answer to this?
The spiritual answer is we should forgive.
Good, a short program then.
No, the jesting apart, I think if we don't forgive, we are hurting ourselves. And so we should forgive. But also there's another aspect of forgiveness. I feel if we don't forgive others, then we are not able to forgive ourselves.
So some people seem to feel that forgiving someone is kind of like letting them get one up. Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah, actually, I know a lot of people who think that way, but I don't think it has anything to do with giving them. I think we are doing ourselves a favor when we forgive, because we are not holding things inside. It's like a poison that kind of festers inside. And so we have to be, and also the poison I feel that festers inside, if we don't forgive, it colors everything. It makes a difference in all our situations, in the way we are happy, with the way we are content, if we are loving or not, if we love ourselves. So it colors everything if we don't forgive others. So
some would say that holding resentment is like eating rat poison every day and waiting for the rat to die.
Yes, that's well said.
So then forgiving others and then forgiving ourselves, that's an interesting twist that many people don't consider. Would you elaborate there?
I feel that many of us, all of us actually, not many of us, all of us have made mistakes. And so if I don't let go of other people's mistakes, then they won't let go of my mistakes, and I won't let go of my mistakes, and we won't be able to let go of the past. What happens is if we don't let go of mistakes, or if we are not forgiving, then we are not able to let go of the past. And if we are not able to let go of the past, we are not able to stay in the moment, in the present. And I feel the number one aspect of happiness and the number one aspect of peace is to be able to stay in the moment. So that's how it's connected. So if I'm not able to forgive either others, then I won't be able to forgive myself, and then I won't be able to let go of the past, and then I won't be able to stay in the moment.
Is it important that we understand that we're all the time complicit in these dramas that we feel other people need to be forgiven, but we don't want to? In other words, aren't we always part of the formula that creates the bad scenario?
Yes, definitely, definitely. I feel none of us are angels, that every one of us actually contributes to whatever is happening. And so I feel when we look at ourselves with honesty, and we look at ourselves with this clear vision, what is it that I have done wrong, and really seek forgiveness from my heart, then it's very easy. That there has to be honesty, and then there has to be seeking forgiveness from the heart. And the honesty comes with what you're saying is that I am part of the whole thing.
So I've talked to some people that say, I'll be happy to forgive them, I just have to hurt them one more time, or I just have to tell them how awful they were to me. I just have to make sure they, in a word, suffer a little bit more. Is that forgiveness, or is that just trying to get one up?
No, forgiveness is is when I am not able to remember the other person's mistake, when I'm able to not think about their weaknesses, think about their defects. So that is forgiveness. And so if I have this whole attitude of let me go give it to them one more time, then I haven't even begun to the whole process that it requires to forgive.
By the way, that's somewhat similar to a book I read recently on Jesus is saying in Aramaic, the translation for forgiveness in the ancient language that Jesus spoke is to untie the knot. Now, in today's church, it's closer to let them acknowledge they did something wrong and let it pass. But to untie the knot is very much like what I hear you saying, that you are basically I don't even remember what was wrong, because there's, no harm, no foul kind of thing.
Yeah, people always say forgive and forget. And I feel actually, so if I forgive, then there is definitely the forgetting. So the not is not there anymore. But also I feel that there is another aspect of forgiveness, and that aspect is about asking forgiveness from God. And or a higher power, or however they feel. And I feel that when I ask forgiveness from God, and the reason why it's very, very important is because God really forgives very easily. And God also is waiting to really give us something as a gift. And so and I always feel God comes with a lot of gifts. And so he's waiting to give us something as a gift. And I feel forgiveness is one of these main aspects that prevents me from taking that gift.
Or lack of forgiveness.
Or lack of forgiveness. And so if I am taking a gift from God, if I am asking forgiveness from God and I'm asking it with honesty, I am doing it with a true heart, then I'm able to get those gifts from God.
So in some ways, what I think you're saying is that God is ready to bestow on us any number of gifts, but if we're clogging the system by holding resentment, anger, and all, and not letting forgiveness happen, then it's our problem. We're stopping the natural flow.
Right. And so when I'm seeking forgiveness from God, I feel which is actually the aim. I feel we should really have this aim of seeking forgiveness from God, but that doesn't happen if I am not forgiving other people, or other people are not forgiving me. And so those two have to be set right before I seek forgiveness from God. And in a way, I feel seeking forgiveness from God, some people have a cop-out. They say, oh, I've told God and he's forgiven me. But I feel to really seek forgiveness from God, I shouldn't hide my mistakes. I'm not saying to go out and, say it to the world, but wherever it's appropriate, wherever it's necessary, that I shouldn't be hiding my mistakes. And the other thing is that if my past is continuing to be part of my present, then it's hard for me to forgive, whether it's myself or other people forgiving me. If my past is always, if I'm continuing to make the same mistake again and again and again, then it's not real.
Right.
So that I feel is very important, to make sure that other people are forgiving me and God is forgiving me, is that I'm not repeating that mistake again and again.
So if you're in the same drama, just different characters repeatedly, you haven't quite cleaned up the mess yet.
Yes. And also with God, I feel that there is a level of, let me seek forgiveness from God, but also I shouldn't be doing something that wrong. Once I know that this is wrong, I shouldn't be doing it. Because if I go and keep seeking forgiveness, then it's not real.
Right.
It's kind of like I'm cheating.
So what if the person that you need forgiveness from is somehow out of your life, even perhaps passed away? Then how do you get them to forgive you back?
It's actually quite simple, because my good behavior right now, and also my consistent good and reliability of my consistency of good behavior, makes it possible to seek forgiveness even from people who have passed on. Because then I am able to really, with the honest heart and a clean heart, sit down and say, yes, my behavior is such that it's forgotten. It's forgotten to the point of where I don't need to even worry about forgiveness.
I understand. So really, time and space, if you truly do the whole system, is pretty irrelevant to the clean heart that you have and the open flow of goodness.
Yes. And also, I was thinking that my current behavior, if it keeps changing and if it keeps progressing, then it becomes really easy. Especially, I feel that as part of forgiveness, that we should have a generous heart and an open heart. That my generosity and openness should be that other people also should be living freely and openly. They also have a right to this. They also have a right to a free and open
Right.
life. And so if I have that thought, so whatever mistakes I've made with other people and they're passed on, that I'm able to demonstrate it with people here. And so that demonstration is, the universe will pick it up, and then we are able to forget it to a point where.
So that concept of generosity, I see also is like listening generously, listening for the good and not to find the fault in someone, which is a huge piece, because if
Yes,
there is
it's
forgiveness, then it's clean, the ideas flow back and forth without labeling, judging, etc.
Exactly. You know, I feel there are two things that are very, very important in forgiveness. Is if I don't judge, then there's no reason for me to even begin to forgive. So so that's one. If I'm not judging, then I don't even need to go there. And the second one is if I don't look at people's defects or people's weaknesses and have the highest vision for them and look at their most powerful qualities, then whatever has happened is we've moved on.
I see. So that's a beautiful thing. So that also comes back to if I am judging, then I'm withholding some sort of unconditional love in that moment. And if I'm not seeing the highest and best of who they can be, they may even live down to my expectations, if that's the case.
Yeah, but I feel we are all so powerful that actually people live up to our expectations.
If we have high expectations and see only the best, then they would.
They will. At one point, they will live up to it.
Yeah.
At this time, they might not have the strength, whatever it is that they're going through, but I shouldn't give that up. And I feel that is what is going beyond forgiveness. That I shouldn't, my generosity of the way I'm looking at people is going beyond forgiveness.
So it almost creates a smooth, paved road into the future.
Yes.
To make more easily move, more easily get along, and quite frankly, enjoy life better.
Yeah, enjoy life better. Like I was saying, that everything is about being in the moment. And so if I'm keep hanging on to the past, then I'm really shortchanging myself.
Absolutely. So do you have any examples that you can think of people that you've seen transform their lives through forgiveness?
Personally, you mean my own?
Or that you've read about or know personally? Yeah.
You know, the founder of our university, Brahma Baba, he was a real prime example of forgiveness. There was actually one time, apparently, and I've heard the story, and actually this was one of the first stories I heard about him that really touched me, was that when there was someone who came to assassinate him. And anyway, they saw him and they got transformed. And they were ready to kill him, and he was alone in the room, and so they saw light. They couldn't kill him. But anyway, afterwards they came back to talk to Brahma Baba, and apparently his vision was, yes, it's all right. You know, you still belong to me, and I belong to you.
That's very nice. So that's not just transforming the person who, it transforms a person who needed forgiveness in that, not just forgiving on our own. Of course, in that case, he was already pretty enlightened to look at an assassin and let it and dissolve the situation.
Yeah, dissolve the situation, where it came to a point where he came and he started studying the teachings. And also, I've heard many instances, even with the people I look up to now who are presently alive, like Dadi Janki, where people have come and really defamed her or insulted her, and she is just very easy about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Just, you know, she has the same vision for them, it doesn't affect her. So it's not even like she's getting affected for it to be forgiven.
So what I'm hearing is that maybe the sum total of all this is a proactive forgiveness, that whoever walks into that we encounter us, then automatically we're accepting them wherever they are.
Yeah, and also we're accepting them wherever they are, and it's to our benefit, We are accepting wherever they are. And I have one last thing to say, that I feel if we have this positive faith, and the positive faith is that whatever mistake has happened, I've done them, people have done them, but it is going to be of benefit for me in the future, then it's very easy to go past.
That's nice. Thank you, Shireen. Thank you.